Ray Brownfield continues to stay with us to talk about land values and where we're headed right now with everything that goes into this soup to determine the price that we find sometimes at auction, Ray, and what farmers and others are willing to spend. A big part of that is the interest rates that people will get from their bank or from their other lender. Where are our rates at right now, and what has it meant to land values in the land market?
Well, the rates have gone up a little bit, but not really that much. Depends on one's balance sheet, of course, and the duration of the loan. But, 4%, somewhere in that vicinity, maybe 4.5%, I believe. And there's people out there, various institutions and credit associations, they're looking for good loans, and so that's good. Has it had much impact? I would say no, not at this point in time, as far as the interest rates where they're currently at.
When we hear those rate hikes from the Fed every quarter or so, does that have a real impact on what's going on there in farmland business, or not so much?
Right now, I'd say not so much. That could happen later on as it gets higher. What's that? 6, 7, 8%? Yeah, it probably does have a big impact on the value of land and what people are going to do.
Let's talk about people wanting to sell land. What's the thing that they should be doing right now?
Well, if they want to sell their land, they need to understand what is the market, because lots of times we always want to, as a seller, sell at a higher price than what the market will allow.
Right.
And we need to understand that. So either appraisal or something, that's not a bad idea to get what the market is. From that viewpoint, understand what they're selling. Do they have drainage issues? Do they have non-tillable ground? That's going to impact the value of that land. If it's a high productivity index as far as the fertility and so on, it's a good thing. And what about the operator? Where's he or she stand in this whole situation? There's a lease, and a lease that carries through till year end or for February last, whatever the lease suggests. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things one needs to consider. They probably, and of course I'm prejudiced, but they should at least retain a professional real estate broker to get some advice at no cost at that point.
At no cost.
Yeah.
What about the lender? What kind of a relationship should they establish with the lender?
The seller, actually they should know who's out there that has lendable funds. Who is a good lender that can help a buyer in this position? They're out there for sure.
And, final question. 2 questions. 1031, still alive and well?
They are, thank goodness they are. However, in Congress, that's being looked at very, very strongly right now.
And that's where, if you buy land, you can sell yours and kind of do the tax trade.
It's a tax-deferred exchange, that is correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And then back in the 80s, recreational land was a big seller. Is it still?
Well, not as much. There was more expendable income at one time. Today, the barometer is there that much out there? And there are not as much today. We wish there were more opportunities to sell that kind of land.
Yes. Ray, as always, we appreciate your expertise. Thank you for joining us. Ray's company is Land Pro, based in Oswego, Illinois. He's the managing broker owner, Ray Brownfield.